we are finishing up with a segment that we started on the Yahoo Fantasy Forecast feed, so we're going to bring it to this episode of Football 301. Stand on the table. Every time on the fantasy show that we bring somebody to do a little draft talk, we finish it with a prospect that you want to stand on the table for.
Should I actually stand on the table?
I mean, you can give it a shot, bro, but I'm...
Nah, I'm a little old.
I was going to say, also, your voice is failing.
Well, this would be the way just to crash out and fall on all the cameras and just end it right there and be done and
knock
go
your
home.
voice back in.
Yes, yes. Maybe I need to be shocked. So, I'm going to get up there.
Wait till we're outroing the show. So, on that note, so Charles doesn't break the table. Nate, I'll let you go first.
Break the Spanish announcers table. That's what's going to
That would be me. No, I'm not trying to stand on the table. If I stand on this table...
You just call me fat?
It's a little risky. That's a lie. So I try to focus on a guy that was not really projected first rounder, or maybe a couple other guys, but this is Devin Neal, running back from Kansas. I really like him. I have him as a top 5 back in this class, probably 5. And I look at him as a late second, early third round pick. I think I'm one of the higher guys on him. I think he's a 3-down guy. He runs a little bit like Ray Rice, like in a weird way. They're not exactly the same build, but that's the guy that he kind of reminds me of. I think he has good hands as far as screens and everything, good vision. Kind of just one of those backs that checks a lot of boxes, and a guy I really like because they can receive, do everything. So, yeah, Devin Neal, and just also good character stuff as well. Maybe not the true ace in a backfield, but like a guy that I think deserves to maybe go a little higher. I snuck him in my top 50. I think he was 50 or 49. But yeah, I've been a big fan of him. My uncle coaches disclaimer, uncle coaches at Kansas, so I watch a little bit more Kansas football than most people. And I'm always just like, this back, man. Like, this back.
No, he's a good player.
He's a good player, and he's got good size, so I'm kind of always just maybe not that elite speed, and maybe he's not elite at anything, but that's fine, having a back that's good at a lot of things. So Devin Neal.
Dude, I was checking out Kansas football for Devin Neal for different reasons, because last summer, when I first fired up CFB 25, Kansas was my team to play online with, because Devin Neal, dude, he was like the shiftiest back in the game. So then I was like, damn, this dude must be nice in real life. And he actually is.
He is.
Like, he actually is.
And the quarterback was fun, too.
Yeah.
Keep those shrimp away from me. So,
I'm looking at that.
St. Elmo's is walking around with shrimp, and I'm just terrified of my allergies.
We don't even need like a whiff coming over here.
Colin, can you grab one for me? I'm not even joking.
Okay, well, Nate, this is the guy you're standing on the table for. Yeah. So with running back, it always comes down to like, what team are they going to land on here? Give me just, I don't know, like what is you don't have to pick a specific team, but like an offense, a system, a rushing ecosystem you want to see him in.
I mean, he's good at a little bit of everything. Like if the Broncos want to wait till day 2, that's one where, because I think Sean Payton would really like that skill set. Oh my God, actually a team, but I don't know if they'll do it. The Bengals. Like that would be one, because he can stay on the field. I think he's smart enough to stay on the field for all those downs and also handle protection stuff. So those are 2 teams that come to mind for me. I mean, shoot, Cowboys, if they don't want to go down the overdrafting a guy too, that's another one that makes sense. So but he's a versatile. I wouldn't like him so much for a zone heavy team, or traditionally zone heavy team. I like him more on a power gap based team, just because I think his running style works better for that.
Well, that Bengals one is interesting because they certainly, I think, over the years could use to vary up their run game a little bit. And I was at Zach Taylor's media availability, and he was like, we were playing Chase Brown like 100% of the snaps some games. We don't really want to be doing that. Like, he can handle it, but we really don't want to be doing that. So a nice secondary option there would be good. Okay, Charles, give me your player that you want to figuratively stand on the table for.
I find this guy interesting because I feel like I watched Texas play all season, and all he did was just make big play after big play after big play. Crucial plays in the SEC championship game, crucial plays in the playoffs for them. Safety, Andrew Makuba. I love watching him play.
Yeah, okay. That's a good one.
Because he is capital V violence out there on the field. I think if you go back and you watch, like Georgia is driving down the field, the SEC title game, and they're like on the 3-yard line, right? They're running a sweep. It looks wide open. This dude is shot out of a cannon and just car crashes, meets him at the 2-yard line. They're on a 3, meets him on the 2. And then later in that game, oh my God, the Colts mascot got me so distracted. I'm so sorry. Then later,
Shrimp and the Colts mascot.
Know,
Charles is
Friday on Radio Row.
So if you remember the last play in the SC title game, Carson Beck walks out with the limp arm.
Yeah.
The reason is because the play before they were trying to run with Gunnar Stockton, and Makuba laid him out so hard that his helmet flew off and he helicoptered in the air. Why is a guy like that who played at Texas not getting more hype? You know, maybe he's not the cleanest coverage guy, but in terms of like being able to play downhill, He'll play a robber role. Dude, that is someone I would kill to have in my defense.
And we think, those headhunter guys, I think there's maybe a misevaluation with some of the guys. You remember Malik Mustafa, who the 49ers drafted. Some guys were a little going, is he too run first heavy and everything? If you play a bunch of quarters, which most defenses do now, it's fine. It's like, they don't have to be the best coverage guy because they're not all running straight back into the post. They're not going man to man with guys. So,
and he had some high moments as a rookie too.
And so like that same type of thing where it's like this guy's a run first guy. Well, everyone runs quarters now, so that actually works in today's NFL.
And also, if I can find a safety who can have his heels at 12 and make a tackle +2,
right?
Come on now,
right?
And we're trying to fill alleys. We're trying to kill people,
And that's how you, that's how you quote unquote stop the run,
right?
With a light box, quote unquote. So it's like, that's the type of guy you need. I love those tone setter type safeties. It's always
I think
sucker for him.
I don't. Maybe he's not great deep, but in the middle of the field, I think he's got a lot of range. He's got long arms, really explosive. I'm a big fan.
Okay, so maybe not a guy that's for everybody, but the cover stuff questionable, but capital V violent. I love how you phrase that. Give me like a specific defense that you think he might fit in.
Oh man, dude, I'm not saying he could be like. I'm not saying he's the Cooper DeJean type player, but like in that role where you kind of keep him closer to the line of scrimmage. So, like we were talking about, any defense that's running, like spamming a lot of quarters.
Maybe New Orleans.
Maybe New Orleans,
there.
right. If you don't take Starks at 9, maybe you grab Makuba.
Texans, maybe.
2. Texans, that's a good one.
They want
Texans would be fun.
Texans, maybe.
They already have like a tone setting secondary and edge pass rush. I think that.
And they run a lot of quarters. So, that one.
Right. Because I when I was watching him, I got a lot of, Dan Quinn, that hammer strong safety role, but he's not quite as big as guys like Keanu Neal or Cam Chancellor. So, I think maybe he needs to be back off a little bit, but he's a really, really good player, I think.
Oh, Bills, maybe?
Bills, that's a good one.
Bills, another
That's a good one. They definitely could use a little.
They need a physical guy
back there
because they want to run. Yeah, again, they want to run too high every snap. I got a couple of receivers I like too. Xavier Strepo from Miami.
So, hey, Nate, I'm sure you're going to be back on the show at some point in
the
fantasy show in the next 2 months. So maybe save it.
I should. I got to plant the flag before these guys work out. So I was like, hey, let me just get their names out here real quick.
On the record. Yeah, Restrepo's a guy I'm really excited to get to. I haven't
He's
watched
fun.
him yet.
He's slot only and everything, but I think he could be a real good number 3. And then Torrey Horton for Colorado State. Got injured this year, but just watch him against Colorado in 2023. He's a real fun player, smooth athlete too.
Well, I know Charles doesn't want to talk about receivers as he calls them fake football players. So
they are.